Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Sherry's Metaphysical Corner. I'm Sherry. Today I will be talking about the latest energy modality that I'm involved in, and here to join me today later in the show is a gentleman that has been using this program for the past 3 years, and I've had the pleasure of working with. His name is Scott Stringham, so you'll be meeting him soon, and he's going to give us a demonstration, which will be interesting. So he has agreed to come on, show in like kind of a show and tell, give us a demonstration of how this process works, and using magnets. That's what this program is all about, using magnets. But you can also use your fingertips if you don't have magnets. So he's going to explain that a little bit further too. So let me begin by saying the emotion code is a form of muscle testing using magnets, and just lightly speaking about the other half of this program. That would be the body code. So there is 2 processes to this, and it's wonderful. So as we begin this month's educational segment, how would you like to be able to open your heart to love and happiness? Communicate with the subconscious genius within. Stop picking the wrong relationships. Break cycles of generational violence and abuse. Blow away your blocks to success. Stop anxiety, depression, panic attacks, phobias. Stop pain dead in its tracks. Remove major cause of disease. And truly live your life from your heart. And lastly, become who you were intended to become. So now, before we actually continue, let me share with you an interesting quote that I came upon. This is an interesting quote from an unexpected source. This is Thomas Edison, believe it or not. The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. So I just thought that was kind of fascinating. Now, as we continue, 2 of the most important forces in the universe, important to this work, the emotion code, hold love in your heart, and for the person that's being worked on, hold gratitude in your heart that it's working. 2 very important thoughts, okay? So let's continue. Misalignment in the spine puts pressure on the nerves and results in poor health and eventual disease. Trapped emotions can create misalignments. Now in the 21st century, we're talking about being in quantum physics, meaning being in 2 places at once, and unlimited possibilities. So in the body code, the left side of the body is the main energy source. That would be your yin energy. And the right side of the body, that would be the reserve energy, and that's your yang energy or your masculine energy. So there are 6 types of imbalances that lead to disease. I'm going to go over those with you briefly. So let's get started with that. So number 1, pathogens, infections, viral, fungal, bacterial, mold, or infestations. Okay, so that's 1. 2, structural, nervous system. 3, nutrition. Now, foods grown in depleted soils are correctable with supplements, believe it or not, but when there are trapped emotions, it is more difficult to absorb nutrients and can cause deficiencies. 4, circuitry, important. The energetic body is highly organized. Circuits are like fuses in a house, or they follow a line in the body like your meridian lines. So muscles are actually on the same circuits. And by touching a point and performing a muscle test, we can actually test the energetic balance of organs and glands. And here's a few correlations for you in the organ circuits. The left knee pain, for instance, that would equal the adrenal glands. The right knee pain, that would be the gallbladder. Lower back, that would be your kidneys. And pain in the neck area could be kidneys. There are also just these to show you what's going on. So I thought you'd find this interesting. These correspond to the circuitry that's going on in the body. So now let me just do this. I think you'll find this interesting. Caffeine concentrates in the kidneys, and this can cause lower back pain. Fascinating. I did not know that. So 5, we're almost at the end. Toxicity. This is the new world phenomenon. Heavy metals, radiation, industrial waste, etc. And the average intake is about 14 pounds of heavy chemicals yearly from the food we eat. And how do we know that? Because they know how many billions of tons are being mixed into the food yearly, and then how much food is being sold and consumed. Interesting. So now I'm going to throw out a question for you to ponder for a moment before we get to number 6. What system in the body detoxes us? Think about that for a minute. What system in your body detoxes the body? The immune system. The immune system. Very powerful. So with that said, toxins can be cleared from the body, but trapped emotions make detoxing more difficult. That's where this work comes in. It's amazing work. So number 6, energies. And we are all familiar with energies. So okay, there's a little information there for you about the emotion code just to get us started and what we can trace. So now let me introduce someone that I respect and admire, a colleague who's been working in this field, this amazing field, and using these tools of magnets. And he's actually worked on myself. So let's give a little bit of a cheer, if you could, on your side. This is Scott Stringham. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you,
So glad
Cheryl.
you're here, honey.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
And I wanted to tell you, I'm just starting to get some strong pain in my left shoulder.
Well,
which
we
wasn't
can work
there.
on that.
We're definitely going to be able to work on that. That's Scott. And I was talking about this to Scott earlier, and it hasn't been there lately. And you know what? It's just now starting to really ache. So take it away, Scott. What do you think?
Well,
I'm going to let him talk to you
yep.
and give you some information about what he's going to do and how he's been doing this.
Yeah, so I started working on the emotion code about 4 years ago. Okay. Somebody thought that I needed it. So, you know, I had some sessions, found it was very effective for releasing trapped emotions. Okay. Which what trapped emotions are something negative that's happened that doesn't get processed.
Right.
Like a little kid falls on the sidewalk and they scream and they want to hug their mommy, and then 5 minutes later they're out playing again and everything's fine.
It was processed.
That's not an entrapped emotion.
Right.
A trapped emotion would be like somebody has something happen to them when they're a kid, and their parent or their father usually would say, "Hey, suck it up, kid," you know, and or a little boy, you know, okay, and they're holding that emotion in. Inside. And what happens is that a little ball of emotion, which is energy, will get entrapped in the body, and it will stay there. And it could lodge on an organ, or it could lodge in a system in the body like the nervous system or something like that. And it can affect your health as you get older. It can affect your relationships. It can affect your prosperity, your energy level. People that have low energy or brain fog or something like that. It can be just as simple as these balls of energy, which are about the size of an orange, that get entrapped in different places in the body. And they can be released, as you said, with magnets, and I learned how to do that. I started by practicing, you know, on myself and on friends and family, and then I started getting phone calls. You did this thing, you know, to so-and-so. Can you do that with me too? So I said, sure, you know, and I started doing it with more and more, and finally I realized there's a calling here. There's something here that I can use to serve people and to help them out. And the other thing I found is that I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And as I give motion code sessions to other people, it helps me, my energy improves, I'm healed as well as when I do this. So, for example, so you said you have some pain in your
left shoulder.
In your left shoulder, good.
And it's been there off and on for a while, but it comes and goes, but it just started. It's like very painful right now.
Yeah, so that's a typical thing people might come to me for. Okay. Maybe they have a pain in a certain part of your body. Right. So, so the first thing I do is I'll just ask them, you know, on a scale of 0 to 10, severity level. Like 10 is like call 911,
Right.
and 0 means you don't feel anything at all. Where would
Okay.
you say that would be right now?
Right now, I would say the pain is probably a 4, maybe a 5, somewhere in there.
About a 4 or 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so here are the steps on how the emotion code works. And by the way, this was set up by a doctor, Dr. Bradley Nelson,
Yes.
who created it so that anybody can do it. It's not exclusive.
No.
You don't have to have a license to do it or anything like that. If you want to do it for money and use the term, you got to go through the certification process, which I've done.
Right.
But it's accessible to everyone. So, and there's a book called The Emotion Code. It's been endorsed by Tony Robbins. You know, go ahead and order it, pick it up, and you can learn about it yourself. Here are the key component parts of it. First of all is the severity level. So we looked at that. So we know what your severity level is and what your pain is. It's important to know what is going on. The next thing is called muscle testing. So how we are going to connect up energetically so I can read the energy to see if there's a trapped emotion, if there's a little negative ball of emotion that's there in your shoulder.
Correct.
So the way I'll do that is through muscle testing. And there are many, many ways to muscle test, but it's basically...
And just to give people an understanding of that, because they may have heard of that before.
Right.
Muscle testing is what we're doing here is similar to its kinesiology.
Yes, well, it is kinesiology.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what muscle testing is. It's
Yeah.
kinesiology,
Yeah.
testing the body, listening to the subconscious mind, tell
Exactly.
the practitioner what's going on with the person they're
Right.
working on.
Right.
Okay.
And it's based on the fact that anything that's true, or if the word yes or something positive and loving, will get a strong muscle response in different muscles of the body, and something that's false or is untrue or negative, the word no, that type of thing will give a weak response in the
Yes.
body. So the way I've kind of settled in, I do most of my sessions on the phone.
Yes.
So it don't have to be in person, works the same way.
Correct.
So I do what's called proxy. And the first thing I'll do is I'll muscle test. And the way I use is, this is called the falling log method. So I hold out my left
Using your
index
finger?
finger like this.
Now,
and
is it just so that we are aware, so
Yep.
that we're telling the people at home
Yep.
watching this, does it have to be your dominant hand when you say left
No.
finger, or
No,
should it be
either
the
one.
dominant hand? Doesn't
Nope,
matter.
doesn't matter.
Whatever they're comfortable with.
My dominant hand
Practitioner.
is my right. I use my left.
Great,
But I
okay.
press down with
With
my
the
right.
right.
So I wrap my pinky over my index finger like this,
Yeah.
and I press down. And so it's like a hinge. I'm doing a little hinge with my finger.
Yes.
Now, if I say something like, my name is Scott, which is true, I
It'll
press
say
down, and with a very minimal amount of energy on this finger, I cannot press down with this pinky. No matter how hard I go, this thing is not going to move, and I'm hardly
And that's-
resisting at all.
And that's giving you a yes. just
That's
so
giving
that
me a yes.
The viewers at home can understand what you're doing. So when
Yes.
he does that and it doesn't move, that's a yes.
Correct.
When it goes down, that's a no answer.
Yeah. So if I say my name is Cheryl, well, my name is not Cheryl, and it goes right down.
Right.
And even if I try to resist it, I can push it down very easily.
Correct.
Now, it wasn't something I learned overnight. It took some time to be able to read
Practice.
my body and read the muscle response, but it only took a couple of weeks of practicing every
Every
day.
day. Good.
And again, it's something anybody can do.
Yes.
Okay? But watch what happens. Here's the interesting part.
And what you're doing with this, and I
Yeah.
think this is fascinating. That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
love
yeah.
this man. He's just so energized. I didn't think there was anybody that had as much energy as myself. He's lovely. When you say, I lost my train of thought there.
So we're talking about muscle testing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
your energies. It has to do with your energies. Anyway, let's continue because it'll come
Yeah,
back to me in
okay.
a second.
Now, watch what happens. Now, you're intending that we're going to connect. I'm intending that we're going to connect.
Mm-hmm.
So whether we're sitting next to each other or we're 1,000 miles away on the phone, I can say, my name is Cheryl. Well, my name is not Cheryl, but we're intending that we connect.
Right.
So my name is Cheryl, my name is Cheryl, my name is Cheryl, and then watch what happens. My name is Cheryl, I'm getting a yes. My name is Scott, I'm getting a no.
No.
So that
And
means
so
any
when-
reading I'm doing now is on your energetic field, not my own.
So he's tapped into me now by doing
Right.
that. That's what this is all about. That's what
Yes.
that's the train of thought I
Which
lost.
is
So
another
he
key
is-
part to
he
the
is
emotion
touching
code.
my subconscious.
Yes.
He is actually in tune with my energy field and my subconscious, and it's going to give him all the information because the subconscious uses 90% of our brain capacity and will give him 100% accuracy about what's going on with his body. And that's what he's tapping into. When he's looking for answers and yes and no, and he finally gets connected to the client, which is me right now, and he gets, his name is Cheryl, his name is Cheryl, his name is Cheryl. That means he's connected to my subconscious.
Right.
And he's going to go from that.
Now, another key factor of the emotion code that I need to bring up is called permission.
Yes.
I only do this work if I have your permission to do it. And that is an ethical line that we cannot cross.
Right. Even somebody that's doing a proxy or distance healing, it's the same thing with what I do in the other work that I've done, as well as this work that I'm doing, you have to ask permission.
The only exception to that is if someone is in a coma. I can actually do this work on someone in a coma if I have a permission from who their primary caretaker is. Or I've worked on babies, and I've even worked on pre-birth, pregnant women and the baby that's inside them. So so those would be the cases.
Let's just make this really clear. This isn't something that you could do and tap into somebody's subconscious. Let's say they were in a coma, and tap into their subconscious and get their permission versus a kid.
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Because that's what I do in my work with this. I don't necessarily get permission from the people around them. I get permission from the individual I'm going to be working on, their subconscious mind. And they're the ones giving me the permission.
Here's a great story. I worked with a woman who had a stroke.
Okay.
This was December of last year.
Yes.
Her family was called, said, put her in hospice. She's got 3 weeks, tops. She was awake but couldn't talk, was nonverbal, paralyzed half her body.
Ooh. She had a stroke?
She had a severe stroke,
Okay.
yes. This is just a few, 6 months ago.
Okay.
And we worked on her with the emotion code. We cleared away balls of trapped emotions. We found a misalignment in her crown chakra up here, emotion, which is a little more.
Trapped emotion or an inherited?
It was a trapped emotion.
Okay.
And she also had misalignment. Her chakras are all out of whack.
Okay.
And we fixed it, and now she is in her apartment and talking and needs a caregiver, but is working again in her field and is doing very well.
This was a young woman?
No, this is a woman in her 60s.
Okay.
And and all of this was done remotely by proxy.
Absolutely, I get it.
She's not in my neighborhood, she's far away.
And so you only got permission to do that on her through her higher self, her subconscious mind, correct? You didn't get permission from her family?
I did not get permission from her family. I'd worked with her before, and I did contact the person who was her medical power of attorney to let them know what was going on.
Okay.
So we did that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Great.
So I want to make sure my bases were covered on that.
Sure.
Okay, so let's have some fun here.
Let's do it.
So
I'm ready.
So we're connected. We know you have a severity. What was your severity number?
I'm going to say 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to, are there any trapped emotions that we can use? So I'm getting a yes now. So there's trapped emotions in here that we can clear.
Okay.
Now, what are trapped emotions? How do we know what the trapped emotions are? Well, we have a chart.
Yeah.
And this is based on Chinese medicine. This is the trapped emotion chart. There are 60 trapped emotions. They're in 2 columns and 6 rows of 5 each. And now we're going to ask yes/no questions of your subconscious to find out what trapped emotions there are. And of course, we're not going to go through each one of the 60. Yes/no. It'll take forever.
But we're going to show the
we'll do a demo.
watching audience at home. There is a chart that we're going to put up there for you so that you can follow along if you want, and just show you the 3 rows. And there's column A, column B, and there's a lot of information in each of these, and that's going to show you where we're getting this information. And that'll be displayed for you to watch.
And that chart's available online. You can go on, you can Google emotion code chart, and it'll come right up. It's no secret.
No.
But the cool thing, you mentioned that your subconscious is 90% of your awareness or your consciousness. Your subconscious already knows what this chart is.
Oh,
already
yes.
knows what these 60 are.
Absolutely.
And already knows what the misalignment is. So I'm really not a healer. I'm just a facilitator. I'm going to help your body heal itself by uncovering what the trapped emotions are and then using the magnet to clear it. Okay, so let's do one real quick and see how it works.
Okay.
Okay, so so can we use the emotion code chart to find a trapped emotion that's in your shoulder, your arm?
Yes,
Yeah,
shoulder down to the elbow, actually.
Shoulder down to the elbow. Okay, it's good to be as specific as we can.
Yeah.
Now we're going to look at the chart, and now is this trapped emotion we're looking for? Is it in column A on the chart? And I'm getting a yes. Is it in column B? No. So we've already eliminated half of the chart. 30 out of the 60 are now gone. So now we're going to do the other ones. Okay, is it an even numbered row or an odd numbered row? So it's in an odd numbered row. So it's either row 1, row 3, or row 5.
Okay,
We've
so you're
eliminated
seeing that chart
2, 4,
to
6.
follow him.
Yep, okay. And so it's in an odd numbered row. Is it row 1, row 3, or row 5? So it's in row 5 because
See
we
how
got
his
a
finger
positive.
stayed still? It's
Yeah.
in row 5.
Yeah, should I do it slower?
No, I don't think you should have to go
Okay.
slower, but
So
I just
now,
want them to know.
So now we're in column A,
Yep.
row 5. So there's a little box here, and it's got 5 trapped emotions listed in that box called column A, row 5. So it's one of those 5 that you're holding in your shoulder. Let's
Okay.
find out which one it is.
All right.
Is it
Now, can there be more than one, just so that the audience knows?
Oh yeah, everybody's got more than one. Yeah, for
Of
sure.
that box.
Well, we're
that
going
you're
to do
be
one at a
working on.
time.
Right, and so what I'm saying is there
We're going
could
to do
be
one
more
at a
than
time.
one
Yeah,
in
oh yeah,
that box.
could be more
Okay.
than one, but we're going to find out what the first one
Yeah, because they're
is.
following along, watching the chart. So.
Okay, so, okay, good. Okay, so is it blaming, dread, fear, horror, or peeved? There's 5. So I went kind of fast. I'll do it slower. Blaming, dread, fear, horror, peeved. Those are the 5 negative emotions. So which one came up?
Fear.
Fear, okay?
And fear is a very strong vibration on this earth plane.
Yes. So you've got a little ball of energy about the size of an orange in your shoulder or in that area, and it's called fear, okay? It's there. Is there
Trapped emotion
something
of
else
fear.
we can learn about this? Yes. Now,
He just got a yes, you saw that.
we had a yes. Is it something from your past? Yes. So it didn't happen yesterday.
Right.
It happened sometime way back. Let's find out
Let's go
how
how
old you
far
were
back we
when it
wanna go.
happened.
Okay.
Was it before you were 40 years old? Yes. Was it before you were 30 years old? Yes. Was it before you were 20 years old? Yes. Was it before you were 10 years old? No. Was it before you were 15 years old? Yes. So we know it's between 10 and 15. Was it
Okay.
11, 12, 13? So it's around
Around
13 years
13.
old. Could be a year either way, 12 to 14 years old. So something happened at that time. You felt fear. You didn't process it.
Correct.
It became entrapped in your body, and it became entrapped here.
In my left shoulder.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Now, isn't that interesting? If we can just hold that thought for a second. I've not had any pain with my left shoulder until this year. Maybe a year. It's been about 12 months that I've had this issue that's gone down to the elbow. So something must have triggered that?
Could be.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I've had no pain until now.
Yeah, sometimes it's aging, sometimes it's our energetic body changing over time.
Correct.
Or it could be something now that triggered it.
Okay.
Then. Yeah.
A fear. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so we know it was sometime around there. Is there anything else we need to know that would be helpful for us? No. Okay, so can we clear it now with the magnet? Yes. So here is a magnet I'm going to use. It's mounted on an amethyst. I just do it because it's pretty and I'm less likely to lose it that way. There are magnets you can buy online, emotion code magnets and things that cost 30, 40 bucks, or you can just pull one off the refrigerator. The only thing that matters is the magnetic force. Now,
Yes.
we're thinking about the trapped emotion of fear that you're holding in your shoulder. You have an energetic bubble around your body. It extends out as much as 12 feet.
That's correct.
And while you're thinking about that emotion, the energy of that emotion is not only just in your shoulder, it's now surrounding you. Whatever you're thinking about or feeling about is going to be in your energetic bubble. So right now you're thinking about this fear. So it's there. And that makes it accessible to be cleared with a magnet. So what we do is we pass the magnet 3 times over the governing acupuncture meridian in the body, which starts in the upper lip, goes over the top of the head, and down. It goes all the way down to the small of the back, but you only have to go down as far as the neck. And we can do it on myself, or I can do it on you directly.
Whatever you're
Since
comfortable
you're
with.
right here, we'll do it on you.
Okay.
If it was on the phone, I'd just do it on myself, and we're
Okay.
going to pass it 3 times, and 1, and 2, and 3. Okay? And now we'll ask, has this trapped emotion of fear been eliminated? Yes. Is there anything else we need to do? No. So now that trapped emotion of fear that you were storing in your shoulder has been eliminated, and it will never, it's permanent. It'll never come back. It's gone forever.
Okay.
Now you can make new ones if you want.
You can make new ones, correct. That I did know.
But the old one is gone forever.
Gone.
Now, do we have time to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do another one. So do you have any other trapped emotions that are in the shoulder? Now we might have gotten a no, in which case it would be all done, but it's saying there's another one. Now we're going to go a little quicker, because a normal session, when I do a session with somebody, is 25 minutes. And we can clear 10, 15, or more during that time.
Yes.
So is there another one we can do? Yes. Is it in column A in the chart or column B? It's in column B. Is it an even numbered row or an odd numbered row? It's in an odd numbered row. Is it row 1, row 3, or row 5? So it's in row 3 of column B on the chart. And that would be confusion, defensiveness, grief, self-abuse, or stubbornness. So grief is the second one. So you're holding grief in there. Is there something from your past that this is an echo from? Yes. Is it before the age of 40? No. Before the age of 50? Yes. Before the age of 45? No. 46, 47. So age 47. You're older than 47, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So it's older than 47. We're going to clear it.
And he can clear it on
just
himself
did it on
or
myself.
me. It makes no difference.
Right. Because we're connected.
That's right.
If
It's
we
for
weren't
that
connected,
reason
it
we're
wouldn't
connected.
work. Right. So, so has this been cleared? Yes. Anything more we need to do with it? No. Can we do another trapped emotion? We can. Is it in column A or column B, even or odd, row 2, row 4, row 6? So we're in row 6. I'm going a little faster now. Yep. Humiliation, jealousy, longing, lust, and overwhelm. So overwhelm is the next one.
And that's still in the shoulder.
Still in the shoulder. Yeah, you got 3 of them in there. Yep. And is there anything more to learn about this? Is it something from your past? Is it before the age of 40, before the age of 30, before the age of 20, before the age of 10, before the age of 5? No, 6, 7, 8, age 8. So when it's that young, I always ask, is this something that you absorbed? Because you can absorb these from, you can get them from your parents,
yes,
you can get them from other people, and if you're an empathic kind of person, you can really pick these up.
And I am.
So yeah,
I do pick up
did you
easily.
see, you absorbed this feeling of overwhelm from somebody else? Was it one of your parents? Yes. Was it your mother, your father? So you absorbed this from your mother when you were 8 years old, okay? And you stored it
Right there.
right there.
And that
this
makes a lot of
feeling
sense to me, what
overwhelm.
he's saying.
Yep, okay. And now we're going to clear it. I'm going to do you and myself again. 1, 2, 3. And has the overwhelm been eliminated? Yes. Is it gone forever? Yes. Is there anything more we need to do? No. Okay. Is there how's the shoulder feeling? Just, yeah, move it around a little bit.
Yeah, the shoulder feels great.
Yeah.
Now, will that have cleared it all the way down to the elbow?
Well, you might have some here, you might have there, might be, there's always different things.
Okay.
I just check in with you and see what your response is.
Yeah, that feels really good.
It's probably, my instinct tells me it's probably the same issue affecting both.
Okay.
But, the only way to find out is to ask.
Right.
Okay? So, are there any other trapped emotions? No. So,
You
so
want
you
to
have
ask
no
if
other
the
trapped
elbow
emotions?
thing is the same as what this was?
Yeah, sure.
Let's
You
do
can
that.
ask anything.
Ask. See what we got.
Yeah, okay, so is it the same issue between the elbow and the shoulder? Yes. Okay.
Okay, so there's nothing left.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Great.
And right now your severity level was 6. What is it now?
Yeah, it's like nothing.
It's 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's typically what happens whenever I do
And that
a session.
is to show you all that the pain can be removed immediately. So I hope that you all learned something from this. We're going to move along today, and I hope that you all enjoyed this. I found this absolutely fascinating, and we are going to disconnect from each other momentarily, but I wanted to at least invite you all to see this today, because I find this work amazing. I am now involved in this work, and we'll be doing much more of this and working with him, and we will see how this goes. So if you're interested in this work, go to my website for more info. It's www.energyworkstudio.com, 1 S between work and studio, or go to Scott's. That would be www.scottstringham.
P. Scott Stringham.
Oh, P. Scott
Yeah.
Stringham.
P for powerful. Yes.
Oh, powerful man. PScottStringham.com. All right, so
Yeah,
till
and I
next
give
time.
public demonstrations, so you can always look on the website and see if there's one in your neighborhood where you can come and get a treatment, like I just did with Cheryl.
Yeah, and I do the same thing.
Yep.
So till next time, Stay tuned. Be well. I'll see you next month. Thank you.